Hello everybody, welcome back to the pYanodons playthrough, filled with pain. Fantastic Mr. Ghost here. And here is a percent chance creature that we're going to spin up today. I'm trying to, as a reminder, go very slow through the research tree and implement creatures, trying to get the new creatures and the new animal, well, it's the plants and animals. I want to get those spun up. That way, when the rebuild hits, we've got everything we need. And, there's a lot of research in pYanodons here, especially after PyScience 3 up and running. So, it's great. All the bottlenecks in the base are kind of squashed. Oh, another thing I want to mention here, and I keep forgetting about this feature, so I apologize. And I don't really know how to use it either. So there is a way, we can wire machines up to things, and there is a way to set recipe and then read contents and then read ingredients, read if recipe is finished, read if working, and then we have control signals we can send out here. I don't know how to do this. This is kind of like, it's a game where you can engineer your own thing. But there also isn't any instructions on, well, what's the basics here so that I can maybe expand on it. So that's why you have to rely on, the internets. So you can see it's blank now here. So what you could do is set requests like this. And you could trash unrequested, which we've done. Request from buffer chest I don't need. Now, I don't need to trash unrequested for this concept here. But what I was thinking is if I can find an example somewhere on how to do this, you can, I can set up a combinator and some, I think it would be arithmetic or deciders. And if, for example, I only want one level 1 machine at a time, maybe two, in the level 2, level 3, so on and so forth. The level 4s, I might want 3. Let's say we get to that point, before I die. So what you do is you set the machine based on what you're deficient in. So if I need a level 1 machine, then the recipe switches to a level 1. But I think you need a combinator as a set point, and then you need to compare, I want 1, and I have none. So you need a negative number, feedback. So you can use these, and I realized this after I did the episode last week. So I was like, crap, I can actually use one machine for 4 tiers, and then we can squish this footprint down instead of chaining this stuff, which we used to have to do. And again, I haven't used this feature, and I really do want to use it, so I'll try to figure it out in the meantime. But if I can't figure it out and get it implemented, then I'm just going to go with this crap here. And I'm not going to use level 2 machines. I'm going to use level 1s. So just be aware of that. So I wanted to cover that before I get started on this. I should have started this thing now. Oh, autosave's getting bigger. Yep. So, trits. Let's get this started up here. And let's see. I want to make sure. So we need sodium alginate. And we need the Great Alien Sample. I'm going to pull these up here. These are the new recipes. I was looking at them. And I'd have to bring in albium and sodium alginate for the cubs. We get 4 cubs out. Problem is, it's tricky to route the belts. That's why I want to do a rebuild, because these recipes now are requiring more belts per machine. That means I got to go through the middle, like I was saying, I think in the last episode or 2 episodes ago. This is the trit one, but we have a better one than that. This one here, we just unlocked 6 trits, but we need to do the fish eggs and sea sponge, sodium alginate. Everything else is the same. The only thing I have right now is the sea sponge. So, again, it's like, how, again, I didn't know these recipes were going to be so crazy, because I'm not looking that far ahead. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing right now. Well, we're getting to now that we're getting close to the end, and, you get your sea legs and you start figuring out the mod, then you can start to plan for those bigger builds. Also, the yellow belt is inadequate for these machines. So if I copy this and we get a yellow belt, because, you know, we get the yellow undergrounds right away. Oopsies. You can't even build, you don't even get red belt till you get to this point here, right? Because you need small parts, or the advanced small parts and all that. And then you need all kinds of crazy stuff. So you can't even build the red belt. So how am I supposed to retrofit something that's using yellow belt to now red belt? You're stuck, you know. So that's why you do have to rebuild in Pi constantly. But the good thing is the blue belt coming up, whenever that'll be, I think it's production science, these builds will be easily upgraded from this point on. The blue belt doesn't really get us much for the hood, you know, the length of the undergrounds. So we should be fine. While I was over here, I redid this finally. So I have a filter of the Photo 4, and the Photo 4 will now block the belt. So we just let this run free. I don't need any conveyor wires and stuff. Real easy fix. Figured I'd do it while I was here. Hey, there we go. We got it. So let's explain this thing here again. This is the recipe. We have the sea sponge trits. I brought the sodium alginate in, and the gradient sample, of course. And of course we have the saline water and seaweed. What I did is I just did a pick off here with a filter for the trit there, or for the level 3 percent chance. And here is the trits coming straight up. So I put it here because of that. And of course, these things are going to be, these are really slow. It's 2 trits per craft. So here's the saline water going up and around. And then I did a splitter right here. And I'm splitting off the filtration and the sea sponge to here. And then here's a pass through. As you can see, there's one trit that popped out of there and it slurps it up. I can control this inserter. If there's a trit in here, I can shut this one off, but it's not gonna have a problem. And I can, any trits that are in this case after the fact, I can just throw back in here. The speaker is set up for greater than or equal to 4 trits. And what I have to do is wire up, I think would be, I'm looking in my inventory for red wire. So I'm gonna wire this thing up right here. And we're going to enable if it's less than 4, 4 trit 3s. Okay, there we go. So if we're less than 4, then the inserter will continue to work. I want to shut it off because I don't want it running and running and running. Because once we get to 4, we don't need to keep going. We don't need a 5th. We're done at that point. So the bioprinters, or whatever those are called, it's 4 to start the process, and then you get a 5th one, and then it just goes up by 1 each time, incremental. So there we go. Done and done. Let's go back to the Factorio. Oh, let's see, Hub 2.0. Yeah, we'll go back to Hub 2.0. So this is another prime example of, again, a rebuild, because the recipe, I didn't implement the new recipe, and that's because I just unlocked it and I stopped, playing for a while. And the next goal was to spin up all the new creatures, which I did, but I didn't implement the new recipes. And here I am doing PyScience 3. And I'm like, oh, so I'm a little bit behind the curve on my recipe stuff. Now let's go over here to our creature chamber. And this is the Kmaut. I'm calling it Kmaut because I'm just pronouncing it how I see it. I don't know how this is pronounced. It's not a real creature anyway. Shutting. So we need 2 of these Kmauts in order to start the process of spinning up the creature. So that is going there. We'll let that run. Oh, I just temporarily piped water to it, and I grabbed all the ingredients for 1 or 2 crafts. This is one of the things where you don't really, unless, well, here's the whale. You don't really need to spin these up all the time. The generics are good for the initial spin ups because we're gonna need a lizard and tiger. And that's what's gonna make that new creature that we have. This, I think it's the Simic. So you do want these on hand so that you can drop down the machines and have it ready to go, as well as the cards too. You do want this automated. It does get pretty crazy. So that's the goal for the Hub 4.0, is to get all this set up and ready to go. So we'll let that go. I got the speed modules in there. What I'm thinking here is spinning up this Yotoi percent chance right here. We have everything. Coral X milk. Oh, that's a lot. Let's see. We got the solidified circle. Oh, I got to check the solidified scores. I keep forgetting. I think I got to put a speaker on it if I don't already. So the issue here is the Yotoi aloe. And we need 2 of the Mark IIs. We get a chance to filter back a fruit, which I'll probably throw just put in production. So that's the next one I want to spin up here. And what I'll do is let's get set up with this in the BioHub 2.0 here. So I'll pull all this crap over, get organized, and we'll fire it up. Alrighty, folks. Plant number 1, creature number 1 is going. Spin up, or percent chance here. All I gotta do is shift right click and left click, and voila. So good thing is I'll be chewing up some solidified Socorros here. I just don't know what to do with it other than burn it up. I'm glad I'm saving it because we don't know how fast this will happen here. Oh, and I'll put that there. Get rid of that. There we go. So here is this one. Very simple recipe here. And then we've got the seed. Oh yeah, see here's fruit to seeds, seeds to tree. And then we get the tree here. And we also get, oh, you know what? This one, oh, this is fruit. Well, what I'm thinking here is, I really don't, I think I'm just going to have to go straight down. Because I don't want that building up on me. Yeah, we can go into here. Oh, what's going on here now? Oh, they're... What? Oh. Why is this... Oh, we got 1. Wow, that... I didn't even see it. So we got to go 2 then. Yeah, less than 2. Right. So if it's less than 2... Wow. Okay. So I have the unbarreling of the Coral X milk, and what it annoys me, it says filled milk barrel. Does that mean we could get any milk from any creature, and it equates to milk? I don't know. I'm confused. But this is Coral X. I wonder if there's a way. FNEI usually doesn't resolve things very well with the Coral X stuff, especially the milk. But I'm assuming that's the only creature that does the milk in pYanodons. Oh, I forgot to mention, I got sidetracked. There's one more thing or 2 more things here. Yeah, the BioHub fluid update, the unloader, real quick. I did some testing here again. In between episodes here, I just repiped this. You do need a pump here on the output, otherwise it'll contaminate the tank with whatever is going on here. Remember, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if tank 1 is empty and tank 2 comes in and has something, it will, if without a pump, it will fill or equalize with these tanks here, all of them. So if all tanks are empty and one thing comes in, all tanks will have that fluid or gas. So you do need a pump on the output to keep contamination from happening or occurring. So I have all the filters set up here, as you can see. And with this system here, it actually worked better. So it seemed to be, I don't know what was going on, why it was messing up. But with the pump to pipe, or underground in this case, it actually worked better. Go figure. So, like I said, this is the low throughput system here. And, you know, again, I'm probably going to opt out of the superior trains. Well, the superior trains we're going to use just the tanker and the cargo wagon. Because of the split, I wish I could mod, because I would change that. Because it doesn't make any sense to have a full, you know, go from vanilla to a split train. Unless you're using single-headed trains, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Now, the other problem I had, remember when I ran the bot carry capacity research? Yeah, these frickin' bees. So, what happened is, let's see, we're good now. Okay. I was wondering why my queens were gone. I'm looking, like, why is this thing running like crazy, you know? And it turns out that the bots are now taking more items per trip, and they're faster. Well, they took all of my queens and delivered them here. I have 6 queens in this case, on top of 1 in, so there's 7, and none in. And so my queens were running and running and running, and I go, what is going on here? Because I was waiting for Venom. That was something that happened last episode. I cut, and I had to come over here, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I figured it out. And, you know, because what happens is a lot of nests start getting chewed up here. You know, you need the nests. And it's on the end of the belt. And again, you know, be rebuild coming soon TM. So this whole thing was causing problems because the nests were getting taxed. And I'm like, of all things, right? I built this thing so long ago, and I don't like using bots anymore with, especially pYanodons, because the bots they're not as robust as belt. I mean, they get the job done, but not always the way you want. All right, well, I'm gonna wait on this stuff here a little bit, and then we're gonna get prepped up for the immunosuppressants. We need those for AUG spin up, or the AUG percent chance. Different with the trits, because we just need the trits first. So here, you know, here's the AUG one. Remember, we need that immunosuppressant for the percent chance, the 0.5. Ooh, that's pretty good. Hopefully this won't take too long. And then the trit one here, we need the immunosuppressant here. Now, that means we have to spin up that creature. Oh, yeah. So let's go and get our 2 little creatures here. Here they are. Done. Okay, we got our Kmauts. All right. Now, I guess what I'll do, I'm a little torn here because we're going to use these tendons for the immunosuppressants only, but it becomes a thing later. In fact, this tendon, I think it's up here. Yeah, this is it here. Oh, I got to get a breeder. The tendon that we're rendering, I was looking at it. The Kmaut tendon. Do I have it in here? No, let me find it. So here is the tendon, and we right-click there, and there's 5 things for it way later, obviously. This is what we need right now, the serene, and that's here, this one. So we spin it with some Zogna bacteria to get this serene, I think it is. Now, later, biomass. Later on, we add it to this thing here, and it's all a bunch of body parts and things, and we get this haline, and there's some in vitro meat, scaffold, bunch of weird stuff. So let's go back, and we'll go forward, and look at that. Perfect alien sample. So the perfect alien sample is a part of PyScience 4. So this one right here, this creature, is integral in our science production. So that's why I'm a little torn. Do I make this a build now, or do I just try and get through? And based on, you know, the fact that I'm doing the rebuild here, I don't know. Am I ready to start doing it? Because I don't really know if I want to start. Because here I stopped here, and I was going to do the ore processing in this area here. So we got 2 blank spots here like this. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then the yard. So we skip over, and the yard is going to be here, the next yard system. So I don't know. I'm not ready to do that yet because I was going to do farming. Well, the animals were going to go in this block here. Not this one, but yeah, I think I was going to do animals. So maybe I will come over here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this stone to pure sand. I'm not ready to do it yet. Eventually I will. So maybe I'll do a swoop down, and we'll do the Kmauts here. And then it becomes just official. And then, you know, later on I can rebuild it, whatever. So I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, I guess we'll pick it. We'll go there. What do we got here? Brains. Oh, yeah, the tendon. So this is similar to the other creatures we've been doing where we need just one part. Oh, very interesting thing I didn't realize it needs a caged Ulrich. So we need bedding, water barrel, caged Ulrich, and Reyna. And guess what? I was pulling all this Reyna, and we have a build for it now. It's in the farming block, so we're good to go there. And then we get the pup out of it. And then this is the maturing here. And, oh, it needs another caged Ulrich. 2. So 2 caged Ulrichs. Man, they're hungry for these space horses. And then we get a fully grown one here. So 2 to 1. It's a 2 to 1. And what is this one here? It just produces 2. So the modules are the, male, female inside here, which is fine. So I got 1 and 1, and then it'll spin up eventually. So what is this here? Oh, yeah, this is all part of this. All right, well, it looks like... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I did. Oh, a caged Kmaut. Oh, so yeah, we need to do a caged Ulrich here. There you are. Poor space horse is going to get eaten. I don't know what... This thing is... It's got the claws on there. Looks pretty scary. I want to see this thing up and running. So, yeah, we'll do the breeder off to the side. So the build I'm thinking about is similar to the Arthurians. I apologize, I got a headache today. It's lifting now, though. I like to put the breeder here, and then Skandrix's. Yeah, I like this style of build here, this one. So we put the breeder here, and then we belt out, and then we have the maturing over here. So then we can bring the caged Ulrichs right up close, I think. Or we can go across and up. Something like that. I'll figure it out. So let's get cracking on this sucker here and get our tendant. Welcome to my spaghetti factory. This one's a pain. And the problem, it's the same thing where there was the Skandrix, and then you've got the wolves, you know, the Dingrits, yeah, this thing here, the Dingrits. You've got two things going on here with cages and the barreling too. So I think that I'm going to rebuild this thing. I'm trying to accommodate for expansion here, as you can see. And yeah, the problem... Oh, hi, Rena. Okay, yeah, they're eating the Rena. I got a long arm on the Rena, but I think I'm okay because it's 10 to 15. So the long arm should be able to pick it up. It's only one Ulrich, you know, and one bedding, caged Ulrich, and then the water barrel. So, and I'm trying to share these belts here. Even though you don't need bedding for this, you do need the water barrel and the Ulrich as well. So I'm trying to, that's this belt here. Then the rain, you know, yeah, so it's tricky. And I tucked the water here, as you saw. Now, this mess over here is another story. Oh, and this one's just for expansion. So I'm going to pull this out so it doesn't bother me. And it's okay to, I'll leave the inserters in there as a reminder as to where everything goes. So that, you know, the plan is obviously to go through, you know. Yeah, so, and I forgot about the pup, so I had to pop this belt in really quick. Because where else am I going to go? You know, because you got the cages, and then you've got the water barrels. Oh my god. So, I think in the future iterations, it's just basically build the breeder, do a water barreling specific, and Ulrich caging specific. That way it keeps the spaghetti down to a minimum, even though you're duplicating efforts, you know. So, anyway. Alright, now, what I gotta do is pull this pup out, or this module, and pop it in here. Oh, wow. Oh, listen to them. They're growling and nasty. What the heck? What are these things anyway? They're like a crustacean or something. Maybe if I move this up, it'll show. Oh yeah, they're really nasty growlers. It doesn't say anything about them here. Well, whatever. So, yeah. Oh, dear. That's very slow. Oh, look at that. It's still going. Oh, okay. We'll pop that in there. You know, they might have fixed that. Oh, now it died. You see that? It went... and it died. So it caught on to the fact that I didn't have a module in there. Alright, you nasty creatures. Yeah, it's very odd. Because we didn't do a codex for it. You know, well, we did the codex, but we didn't do any, you know, samples. Because I think when we're combining codexes and stuff, that's when we get the weird DNA splicing and all. Okay, so what I have here, this is an uncaged animal. And what I did here was, the cages are coming out. Let's turn the alt on. Cages are coming out this way. And then cages are coming out from here too. Because we render, combining it, side loading it. So we got cage, and then we have, yeah, 1, 2, 3 sources of empty cages. And each one of these takes a, you know, like this one takes the Ulrichs as well as this one. So the breeding and the maturing are Ulrichs. Then we need to recage the Ulrichs. So I got a splitter here with I figured I'd go up as far as possible here with the splitter. That way this buffers with enough cages to keep the whole thing going. And you don't want to back up. So it's a really tight situation here. And I don't want to combine the cages with the barrels, empty barrels. You know, empties with empties. Because one's going to back up the other. You know darn well it's gonna happen. So that's why I came down here to do this. Alright, well, I'm going to wait for this to spin up. And then, basically, the caging here goes to the rendering. And look at it's only 20 arthropod blood. I'm still gonna capture it. And then there's the body parts that are not the tendons. So what I'm gonna do off screen here is I'll put a TSM pickup here and also an arthropod blood pickup. And I'll put a vent on it because that's what I'm doing for the bees. Because if this doesn't get picked up, then it locks it all up. So I'll do the TSM stuff and the arthropod blood pickup with a vent on it to fail-safe it, just in case. Okay, I'll break back in when we get these creatures. Oh, by the way, when the right after I cut that last part, we have the Yotoi level 2s. So this one is going to be very crazy to spin up. I wasn't going to do any dramatic stuff. I just thought I'd point it out. So this one, it was like, while I was doing this recording, boom, it popped one. And then I stopped recording and boom, it popped a second one. And then the trit, I think I've got 2. Last I checked. Yeah, still 2. That sucks. And then I'm getting down here, as you can see. Eek. It's, I could put the these level 3s in one of these here to speed it up. But I'll see what happens, you know. Not that I'm worried or anything. I mean, I could do it. So yeah, 2 more to go on that. All right, I'll break in when this is done, and then we'll spin up the Yotois. I think that's what we'll do. Alrighty, folks. This crazy spaghetti. Well, I tried to keep the spaghetti down. Mess. Is the Yotoi Mark 3 or 2. Man, there's a lot going on here. I hope it works. So, yeah, let's get this thing copied here. Whoop. There we go. And then I'm over here. The Yotoi used to be here. It ain't gonna fit no more. So, we're gonna go over here. I think I'll line up to this, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I gotta go up. All right, let's get close. Boop. Okay. I wanted to paste it first. Let's go ahead and remove this. Yeah, it's in my buffer too, so. But I worry. All right. There's that. So let's go over here. Oh, I've been working on... while I was working on that, look at that. We got new rail prints, baby. And then this one here is getting done. So I've got the swoop down. If I can find a spot where you can see it. Swoop down. Swoop up. And then we've got a loader. This is the, 6, fast unloading and loading. I'm going to do loaders and unloaders so I don't have to mess with the mini loaders. That's the swoop down. This is the only one I have right now. Swoop down with the thing, the pot, or whatever that is, the storehouse. And yeah, we're going with the, like I said, we're not going to do the superior wagons. I'm not happy about it. I'd like to use them, but it just won't work with double-headed trains. So there is a 4 quad unloader, all wired, ready to go, commutator set. And then I blueprinted this one. This is a loader right there. You can tell by the way the pumps are going. And then I slimmed this one down because that tank equalization crap. So this is a 6 tank unload here. So I think this could be useful, especially with the bigger trains, because the Nextlet trains are 75K. Now that could be a problem though, but we'll see. This is a bitumen or seep. So there we go. That's done. And then, yeah, so I've got these all done, but I got to wire them up. I want to do a once-over on them before I commit. I want to put the LTN commutator down, wire it. So, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do multiple tank setups or not. I don't know. All right, let's go over here. Oh, the other thing is... Oh, that's down there. Okay, we got this one. So I added another one of these, what do you call the enclosure Kmauts. There, look at this, one more module to go. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I have one construction bot in this Mark II Snuggly Pino port. And when one of these guys completes... Oh, 99. There it goes. Ooh, bonk, bonk. I don't know why he doesn't... Why the bot... It's a he. I don't know why it doesn't want to put it in here. But, yeah, whatever. So we're at about... what is that? It'll be about 0.9 on the craft speed. So I went ahead and added another one here. And I'll probably add a bunch more because of how slow these are. Here's another thing I was working on. We copy and get a count. 33. That is the length of a blue belt underground. So I was just kind of curious what it was. And the red belt is 17. I don't know how they count these things. It's really weird. That's the length of a blue belt right there. So we'll be able to span a reproductive complex, which is pretty crazy. So there's that. So I wanted to showcase that one. All right, let's go over here and we'll fire this up. Oh, that's so much fun. All right, I'm going to get power on this and then we'll go from there. All right, substations for the win. Got the power in, all good. So right now, we need pure sand for this. Ugh. Oh, and I forgot about that. So I have right here, this is liquid manure, so I'll get that started up. Well, it looks like I have not barreled it, so that's fine. It's piped right here. So all I gotta do is pop a pipe over that way, and I should be able to negotiate this. Look at that. Boom. Just gotta extend this out a little bit here. Done. Now this is the scary part. We'll put those in there. I need biofilm for this cold air right here. I don't know. Yeah, I have to request that. And then we need carbon, or activated carbon here. So I'll have to request that. I don't think I have gasoline, but let's set it up. And right here is nitrogen. And I'm pretty sure I have that because of the other creatures we spun up. And there we go. Now we got water. Just saw that it wasn't powered. So what I have here is a 50% valve. This is a top up. Because we're getting liquid nitrogen back, I think? I thought we were getting it back. Oh yeah, so liquid nitrogen in, then it cools off to nitrogen, and it kicks out here. So that's why I have a 50% valve to supplement what's coming out of this evaporator here. Now we're getting steam out of this thing, which we don't need. I could do a cooling tower, but you know, once you get these water extractors, you don't really need to worry about it. Oh, one thing I should mention here is that this thing kicks out petro. This one right here. Yeah, petroleum gas. Right. Only 3. I'm like, what am I going to do with that crap? So I'm just venting it down here. I didn't care. There's our activated carbon and the biofilm. There's some sand for some pure sand. So what I have here is the seeds are going to pop out of here. We're going to get 6 initially. And we need 5 to get 2 Yotoi. I'm restricting this to 10 so that it's equal to 2 crafts here. Because you don't want this case to keep going and going. And then it spits out here. What do we need here? Oh, this is the... oh, this kicks out biomass. So, and it requires... This one requires 15. So I figure, well, let's just do a pass-through. But we'll request for additional. And then this one, inserter here on the output, is set to 120 because we're going to need those modules for upgrades. I just set it to 120 for now. Got the filter set here. And then we insert into here the the nursery. And we take one, so it goes 1 to 2, so we're gonna get 4, or eventually, yeah, I think it's 4 of the fruit. So that's how you get your spin up. right there. So I got to figure out how I'm going to get gasoline in here. I was thinking about cutting a lane in here. So let's see what we can do. Finally, gasoline. There we go. All right, hopefully this works. There's the compressor kicking on. Oh, look at that. I like that color. There we go. We got the liquid nitrogen. Man, it's slow. All right, second craft. Here we go. And we have it. Woohoo! One seed left over. We're going to get 2 Yotoys from that. There we go. Another plant down. Oh, we're getting leaves out of this. Crap. I just saw that. It's always something with this mod. There we go. We got another craft. And one is going with the seed in here. Or fruit. Yeah, all we need is 1 fruit for 3. And then that will be another craft now. Alright, there we go. Yotoy leaves. Okay, so that's it. We're good to go. I think we'll end this episode here. We got Yotoy, Trits. Well, we got the Yotoy spin up. We got the Trits 3, which we're waiting on the immunosuppressants. And these guys. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to add more here. Let's see. Yeah, it still doesn't like that one. So we're cranking along here. Yeah, so this will spin up. I'm going to add a bunch more here. I'll use max rate, you know, to see how many we need. This is what? The pup. 0.7. That's a lot. 0.67. We're plus 0.067 to 0.7. So yeah, we can spam a bunch of these down. It's not a problem. We're going to need the tendons anyway for science, so it's not a big deal. I was thinking about rebuilding this, pushing it up more, but I think it's fine the way it is. It's a little bit spaghettified, but yeah, you know. I did a big underground here because it was annoying me. So I went, shoom. There we go. So, but yeah, I mean, it works. All right, so yeah, we'll once this is done, next episode we'll do the first render on screen because that's always fun to do. All right, I want to thank you for watching. Got some progress today. Immunosuppressants, don't quote me on that, but I think we're going to work on that next time because now we have the tendon. So that is over here. Oh yeah, we need carbon black, which makes this jelly. The only way to get the jelly is through barreling, and it's very odd. So we need the bees here, plus BTX and Reyna. And then we get the carbon black, and then we get the jelly. And that starts that whole process here. I think is this the jelly one? No, one of these is. I think it goes in here. Yeah. So we unbarrel it, and then do the immunosuppressants along with pacification. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. Yeah, we got all this crazy stuff. So it looks like Arcwood blood's in there. All right. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We're chipping away at these animals here, and then we'll get it back on research once we get all these things spun up. Hopefully it'll be quicker than normal. No, it won't. Peace out.